Hello, my name is Ilona, and I am an online fitness trainer and a bodybuilder. Just kidding. Um, I'm guessing if you're watching my content, you may or may not watch them. I watch them all the time, like religiously. It's just another YouTuber. Doesn't really matter. Anyways, I'm a little sick. But look, I look nice, don't I? Look, I'm gonna make this a little bigger. I didn't even know I could do that. So you guys can see me. I'm gonna cover up my username because it doesn't matter, and don't send me weird DMs because I'm not gonna respond. Anyways, um, I decided to look nice today. I've been doing makeup recently because I've been feeling more confident because I've lost weight. So it's made me want to experiment with other things. And also, I got kind of muscles a little bit. I'm not gonna show anymore. I already did it in the beginning as a little like stupid thing. But I didn't think just naturally, I don't know why I have these in. I just have them in because they make me comfortable because I don't hear myself so much. Anyways, um, naturally, I'm trying to look at the camera. It's not working. I'm sorry. I tried. Um, naturally, I have muscles. I've always had muscle. No, everyone does, but I think it's because of my genetics that I'm more predisposed to having muscle. It's just that I was always overweight, and so the fat usually covered it. And fat still covers it. Like, I need to actually work in the gym to get like more definition, but there is something there. Like, it's not nothing. Anyways, we are on Fat Logic page. We're gonna look more into that today. So fun. I haven't done one of these in a while because I've been at college and finals has been like kicking my ass. But here we are. Uh doing it. So fun, right? So excited. All right. Let's look. Okay. Like I have a love and hate relationship with doing these kinds of videos. Love that I can like like I said, I'm sick. Comment on this stuff. Hate that it's kind of the same thing over and over again, and I'm just kind of like, oh, like here we go again, you know? But it's fine. Okay. Thin privilege. Oh, there's two slides. Thin privilege is the lack of weight bias or weight discrimination. It's being able to post photos on social media with a giant piece of cake or pizza and having people think that you have a fast metabolism or practice mindful intuitive eating skills instead of criticizing you for being unhealthy dietary choices. P.S. Food is just food. Excuse me. Thin privilege is never having to choose between wearing a seat belt. What? Never having to choose between wearing a seat belt or a coat. That's a very specific thing that I feel like this person is like definitely has personal experience from who made this post. Wearing a seatbelt, wearing a coat. Usually I'm uncomfortable when I wear a seatbelt. I don't really know how to respond to that one. Okay, when it comes to thin privilege overall, going back to this one, yes, thin privilege does exist. We're not going to pretend, like, sit here and pretend that, being a thinner person doesn't give you advantages in this world. It definitely does. I mean, the world is built more for thinner people. The only thing that I would say to that is that when you're overweight, I feel like some part of you kind of has to accept the consequences. Now, I've always said this before, like a billion times, but when you're overweight, like the choice of being overweight is not it's not a choice that is made actively each time that you put, some kind of unhealthy food in your mouth, you don't exercise, or, you eat too many calories, even if it is, healthy. Like, um, it's just something, it becomes a compulsion. Trust me, I know, I was overweight and I was overweight. I was overweight and it was hard for me to stop just compulsively eating all the time, and now I'm at a point where, I still calorie count everything, but I don't feel like I'm out of control. And when I went to college, I fell off the wagon a lot. But especially when you start to lose weight, you are more conscious of the bad choices that you're making. You're like, wow, I am consistently making bad choices. I already know I'm doing bad, And so that's one thing that does help when you do weight loss, is that you kind of begin to learn what's not good for you. and what you're doing continually. You know, it's a working process. You're gonna have to always change it and fix it. Like, I'm gonna probably be struggling with food for the rest of my life, and that's okay. It sucks that I was, you know, I live this way, and then I'm born this way, you know, or that I grew up in certain circumstances that made me this way. But at the end of the day, I'm the one who takes control over it. And yes, I can look at these privileges, or I could have looked at the privileges that then people have. And luckily, I was never so overweight, or I never was obese to the point where these privileges were like really apparent to me. But there were certain things that, you know, obviously that my sister, who was thinner than me, had advantages over me when I was overweight. The thing is, I'm not gonna go cry about, like, I cried about the fact that I couldn't change. I didn't cry about the fact that my sister was lucky or she had privileges over me, because like I don't want to think of the world like that, you know. But I get it. Like, it's easy to see what other people have. Like, I see that people who are rich have all these things, and it makes me so jealous. Like, I just watched season 1 of White Lotus, which I'm not gonna spoil it, but it's about rich people, you know, kind of get that if they're in a freaking resort. And I'm just like, wow, like, I used to be afraid of watching things like that because I was like, oh, I'm afraid of seeing people who are richer than me. It makes me sad, you know? And they have so much privilege over me, blah, 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 blah. And the thing is, yes, they do. And that's undeniable. But that doesn't mean that we have to, at least I'm not going to live in this kind of doom and gloom while thinking about everybody who has privilege over me. Then again, I'm not going to think about everybody I have privilege over and be like, oh, I can never feel sorry for myself. I can never feel bad. I just want to kind of live in a neutral zone where I'm like, okay, I accept where I am in life. I accept that I have problems with food more than the. Is that something in my hair, or is that just me tripping? Oh, there was something in my hair. More than the average person. And I accept that I am poor, or that I live in a you know, a situation where I'm not financially stable. What can I do to change that? And there's some things that I can't change. Like, I will never have generational wealth. I can't do anything about that unless I just give all of my dead family members a bunch of money for them to give to me and use. You know, I'm never going to have that. That's okay. That doesn't mean that I can't maintain my own wealth and create generational wealth, you know? I will never have a, at least from 10 years old to like when I lost weight, I'll never have a skinny childhood. I'll never have the, I'll never have that. And I even wrote something about that once. You know, my sister, she does have that skinny childhood and she has that privilege over me, you know, but then again, she also has problems with food, and rich people have problems. Everybody has problems. It doesn't mean that I always say this, I'd rather be crying in a Lambo than crying in a broken down car, because I'd rather be crying while financially stable. But everybody has problems, and when you look deeper in, you realize just how effed up everything is and everyone is. And that's what the show White Lotus kind of showed me. I'm getting off track. What I'm basically trying to say is that when it comes to like thin privilege and everything like that, yes, thin people have privilege over fat people. I just feel like it does suck, you know, but what are you going to do about that? What are you going to do about that privilege? Do I think that people should make hate comments and be rude to fat people if they post with pizza or like donuts? No, I don't think so. You know, will I look at that post and probably be like, it's probably not the best thing to be eating? Yes. But the thing is, like, we never know the person's story. And like, I just want to say this, like, if there's a fat person who's consistently eating like unhealthy food all the time, it's just not me. Like, it wouldn't be me, but if that's you, that's fine. And you can live and you can do that, you know? Um, I just think to call it thin privilege, I think is a little much, you know, because it's obvious that you are in an unhealthy state and you're eating foods that are just going to continue that unhealthy state. And it's not like you have to care, but it's more like, what do you expect is going to happen? You know, like, it's kind of like, I'm trying to think of something that I could post that would like you're going to garner a reaction, you know? Sorry, but that doesn't mean that, I'm sorry, give me a second. I just like spilled water all over myself. Okay, I'm not gonna lie when I say that I'm a little stumped by this. I think I'm just stumped because I'm like, what do you want to happen? Like, people are becoming more accepting of bigger bodies. you know? At the end of the day, I guess is what I'll say. Thin privilege does exist, and thinner people do have privileges over fatter people, but that doesn't mean that being fat is still not unhealthy. And I know they're like, oh, why do we always have to come back to that? Because I think it's like when we have to realize where this bias comes from, you know? Just like how with being poor, no one wants to be poor. It sucks. I don't want to be, unfinancially stable. I want to change that about myself. Just like I want to change being overweight. Does that mean that you're not worthy as a person who's poor and that you can't be a good quality person, you can't be successful, you're not blah 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 whatever? No, it doesn't mean any of that, you know. But people make fun of broke guys all the time, people who don't have money all the time, and that sucks, But if I post like like a broken down car, me next to a broken down car, I'm like, ah, like people are definitely gonna be like, whoa, what like what's wrong with that car, blah 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 blah. Like, does it suck that people would criticize, that kind of stuff? Yes, it does. But at the end of the day, a lot of people don't want to be fat. And a lot of people don't want to be poor. And I don't want to like put those in the same category because it's different. And I didn't choose to be poor. If I continue to be poor, that's my choice, in my opinion. With the resources that I have in my life, it depends for other people. But I didn't choose to stay fat. I chose to do something about it. And was there struggle? Do I struggle with how it is to be, lose weight and everything like that? Yes, but I chose to do something. So yes, there is the privilege. I'm gonna acknowledge that till the day I die, but it's still unhealthy, and you should still do something about it if it's affecting your health. Like, that's really what it comes down to at the end of the day. Ooh, why is this blurred? I'm gonna pause the video and then see why it's blurred. Actually, literally as I was like trying to click on it to see what it was, it said that it was deleted. So it was basically just a woman trying to get through the airline, but it was really narrow. I actually saw the original like TikTok or whatever it was. I mean, I made this bigger and then it got smaller all of a sudden. What the hell? I don't know. I don't know. Like, I feel like when it comes to that, it's kind of the same thing with like the seat. I don't know. Like, see, a lot of these things, like, I'm stumped because it's like, one, do I think that we should try to make a society that can fit bigger people? Yes, because bigger people do exist and, they deserve to fly and everything like that. But then two, should we be encouraging people to stay the size they are and just have society adapt to them, even though they are causing they're very costly and it's unhealthy? Like, that's kind of the thing I'm juggling with right now. But I also get that it is hard to lose weight, you know? I just don't know. I think it's up to the individual airlines because they are businesses. It's up to them if they want to do that, because most people who come through will be able to fit those airlines. I just feel like if we're going to be accommodating the exceptions, because I think although there are people who are getting bigger and bigger, at the end of the day, this woman, you don't see the photo, but it just shows her trying to get to the airlines and it's really narrow. She's an exception because we're not in WALL-E where all of us are morbidly obese to the point where we can't get through airline sections. Then the world will adapt. But most of these people are exceptions. Like, there are people who are overweight and who are getting obese, but they can still usually fit through airline. So that's what I would say. That's not to this post, okay? This post is something different. Let me zoom in a little bit. Whoa! Okay, I thought that was gonna take me to a weird tab or something. Oh, I just like to zoom in because my eyes suck. Oh, here we go. Okay. Oof, my eyes, my contacts. Okay. Even if weight loss was evidence-based treatment for certain conditions, we do not currently have a safe, effective, and sustainable weight loss method to recommend. Well, I would argue that there are many unsafe, ineffective, and unsustainable weight loss methods out there. But out of all those mix, there is safe, effective, sustainable weight loss. And even the thing is, like, does a method have to be 100% foolproof? Why can't the people who are really overweight and who are having health problems just try? You know, and this person also doesn't even believe that weight loss it treats certain conditions. So I'm already arguing with somebody who doesn't even believe that weight loss is important. Like, you know, usually it's one person will say, yes, you know, weight loss is important. They might not admit that, like, outwardly, but they are implying it. But there's no good way to long-term weight loss. You know, the 98% study that says 98% of people who lose weight gain it back, blah, blah, blah. Like, do I think that there's a method out there that's 100% like foolproof? Not really when it comes to like each individual person. Like, by foolproof, I mean, like, does it work for every sorry, that's my sister. Does it work for every person? Always. Technically, yes, and I'm thinking of calorie counting. Technically, it should work for every person. If we're just going to be very technical and we're all robots and like once we're given a diet, we just do it. We don't, there's no interruptions, no breaking. But in reality, no, because, you know, even like me, I've messed up and I've made mistakes. And like, it's going to happen. What the heck? I'm sorry. I need to like turn those notifications off. Anyways, it's very common for people to not follow and stick to diets all the time, obviously. But that doesn't mean that the diet isn't foolproof and that it's not effective. It is effective if you follow it, you know? But it's hard when you have mental issues, when you have issues with food, to follow something like that. Just like how it's hard to stay sober if you're an alcoholic or if you are a drug addict. The only foolproof method is to not drink or do drugs. It's foolproof. It'll work for every addict. But does every addict do it? Does every addict follow it well? No. But should they try? Yes. I think that in this kind of movement, they're really giving up. And it's not even just like they're like, I'll be fat, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's like they're giving up the idea of trying. You know, I tried for a long time to lose weight before I actually did. You know? Was it hard? Was there some unsafe practices that I committed? Yes. But at the end of the day, I knew that if I continued in the road I was going to end up as a very unhealthy person who was going to struggle for a lot of my life because of things that were in my control, you know? And so I tried again and again until I was successful. And when I fail or when I mess up, I try again. And that's the one thing that has kept me going. You know, I gained like, I think 5-10 pounds in like college this past semester, and I've lost it being back home. But that's because I tried. You know, I'm in New York. I literally have access to anything I want. Pizza, DoorDash, cookies, Chinese food. I should be gaining weight here. But no, I use the food that I have at home. I've told myself I'm not going to buy anything to eat out. I'm just going to use the food that my mom has and create things that I want to eat. You know? And I've been able to lose weight in that way. I have to do what works for me, and it's different here and there. Sometimes I make meal plans, sometimes I don't. I haven't made a meal plan for the past couple days because I've been sick, and I haven't really been feeling well, so I haven't been really wanting to make a meal plan. I kind of just eat when I feel I want to, and I just make sure that it's not, you know, something super high in calorie. But yeah, I mess up a lot. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I don't. I should have been at my goal weight now, and I'm not. You know, am I happy about that? No, I'm not, but I'm going to keep trying. That's all I can do. You know, I just don't like this message that like, there's no method. You can't do anything. You just have to give up. You know, if you've been obese your whole life and it's been a struggle, not just because people bully you and fat shame you, but because it's hard for you to breathe, you've had health problems, weight loss won't do anything. Just give up. You know, just keep doing what you're doing. You know, and they don't even say intuitive eating, which I don't even agree with, but they don't even say that, you know? They're just like nothing, no method ever at all. There are bad ones out there, trust me, very bad ones that are stupid and weird. Like, if you drink bone broth, there's something wrong with you, and your doctor didn't recommend it, there's something wrong with you. But this is, I'm sorry, I'm using my hand so much because I got nails and I just like, I'm being extra. But yeah, I don't know. It's just annoying. What is this? Tumblr showing gentle health advice. The response. Okay. I wish we tried those diet tips, but for actually good reasons. What diet tips? It would have been nice if the person who posted this put the diet tips. Try going to sleep. Wait, no. Yeah, try going to sleep slightly hungry for a few days. Did you sleep better? Was it harder to fall asleep? How did you feel in the morning? For the next few nights? Try being more hungry. Was it better or worse? Try walking every day for a week. Maybe all the way to work. Maybe just get off the bus one stop earlier. Maybe circle the block after dinner. Wait, is this the advice? How tired did you get? Were you too cold or warm? Did it help regulate your emotions around you? Put your vegetables on your plate first and make sure they take up half the space. Then put proteins and starches. How does it feel after one meal? How does it feel after 1 week? How's your energy, intestines, your appetite? Oh, okay, so this is the advice. Okay. Is it? This is supporting diet culture. Of course they have. Steven Universe. Please research intuitive eating. Oh, okay, that's a very simple response. Intuitive eating is another diet. I'm not going to lie. It is another diet. Is it one that people find more sustainable and people find more freeing? Yes, but it is a diet because you are, there's food cues, there's listen to your body, there's rules, there's things you're supposed to do. It is another diet. It is a part of diet culture, like it's a diet like anything else. Is it as toxic as I'm trying to think, like a potato diet or just eating like the K-pop diets where you just eat like an apple and yogurt for a day and then that's it? No, it's not. But at the end of the day, it's also a diet, You're also just finding ways to work around not eating too much at the end of the day. Because intuitive eaters aren't saying, oh, just eat that whole box of Oreos. As much as there's some people on like people who are anti-fat acceptance who think that that's all intuitive eating is, but it's like, no, I've looked into it. Like, and I've even tried it. It freaked me out. Like I was going crazy trying to understand it. Like this one person made a TED talk that was like, just eat the cupcake. And my brain was like, what? And yeah, it was mind-blowing at first, and like that seems like it's a good thing, kind of, but also a bad thing. But to me, it's like my brain doesn't work like that. I don't just eat the cupcake. I eat the cupcake, order pizza, and then get some cookies too. Like intuitive eating does not work for me, or did not work for me when I was at my highest. It works for me kind of now, although I still like to calorie count because, I'm afraid that I might overeat and eat too much. Especially since I've been at college, and so I have to basically intuitively eat there because I'm not weighing food from a dining hall. That's just, it's too much effort. My friends be like, "What are you doing?" Like I've tried it, but it's ineffective because I don't know everything that's going into the food because I don't see what the cooks put all like the fat, like the oil, everything they put into it. So I kind of just have to guess. But yes, boo boo. Intuitive eating is another type of diet. And this person is just giving simple tips, Like maybe the one that might seem concerning is the slightly hungry. And that's why I thought that this was originally the person who was responding, because I thought they were mad, but I was like, slightly hungry, that doesn't sound that bad. And this person is even kind of doing intuitive eating practices where it's like you have to ask yourself questions, But like what I was saying with the intuitive eating before, like intuitive eating, many people are like, how I lost weight or how I'm healing my relationship with food, by intuitive eating. You don't see a 600-pound person saying they're intuitive eating. And if you did, people would be like, and they're still eating the same shit they eat because that's what intuitive eating would make them do. People are like, I don't know. And when people are saying how I'm healing my body, into what I eat a day, intuitive eating, literally everything they eat is homemade food from either like their mother made it or like they made it, or it's like fresh, it's fruit, it's vegetables, it's pasta. Most of it is fresh, none of it is processed. Of course you're going to lose weight, or of course you're going to be healthy, you're going to maintain your, you know, your skinny frame if all you're eating is things that aren't processed, like Cheetos and Oreos and shit, you know? Like, those are the hidden rules that people don't tell you, because I watch food content all the time. I like watching cooking videos. What I eat in a day is just very fun for me, because I'm still a foodie at heart. I always will be. But like, most of these what I eat in a day as intuitive eater is always shit that's just like healthy. But they're just like, intuitive eating. It's like the people who eat like raw vegetables or raw fruit and like, I can eat whatever I want. Of course you can when you're eating 5 mangoes for dinner. Sorry, I'm getting so mad about this because I just hate people who preach as if they're better. Like it makes me feel like they're better because they're like, what I do as somebody who just eats, like, who just I forget what like their titles are always so pretentious. Like, who has a good relationship with food? Like, you're implying that everybody else doesn't. Like, you see how actually that's just rude. Like, it's not. You're not being nice. You're not being helpful. You're not being supportive. You're just telling me, look at how I can make all of these nice recipes and all this shit. How I can make all my food all pretty. I'm not saying that I am mad at people who have a good relationship with food. I'm not at all I'm saying is that, like, so there's some people out there who pretend like everybody can do what they're doing. Everybody can just make protein cookies, all the time because they just have all these ingredients and they have all this time. Everybody doesn't need to no one needs to rely on processed stuff at all. And the thing is, people might think, oh, I'm arguing that, it's hard to lose weight and stuff like that. It's like, no, it's good. You can still lose weight and eat, certain foods that are processed, but you might need to turn to convenience. Like yesterday, I used some canned tuna and some rice to make myself a meal. Like, is it a little bit processed? Yes. Is it cheap? Yes. Like, there are cheap foods out there that you can use, you know. But then I also had like a cheese puff or like 2 or something like my mom has. Like, I eat 80%, 20%, blah, 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 like every day. And I'm not saying that everybody has to follow my diet. It just kind of makes me upset that they're saying it as if everybody should be doing the same thing they're doing. Are they actually saying that out loud? No. But I just feel like it's implied, because they're saying that they have this superior relationship with food. When in reality, you're just making healthy versions of the food you like. And that is supposed to be better. It's like, no, you're still doing the same thing everybody else is doing, honey. You're just calling it something different. Like, I could say, oh, how I eat as somebody who has a healthy relationship with food, and I just eat whatever I usually eat. Like, you think I want to diet? You think I want a calorie count every day? No, but I do it because I want to lose weight, or I did it because I want to lose weight and I want to be healthy, and I don't want to be obese. Like, I don't want to do this. Everybody wants to be like me, Andrea. Sorry, I don't want to do this. Like, it just feels like a slap in the face. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too upset about it. Anyways, intuitive eating is just not that easy. That's all I'm gonna say. It's not that easy, and there's always exceptions to everything. Like, I hate it when girls who are really skinny post like them eating all this unhealthy stuff, and they're like, "How to do this? Fast metabolism." Blah 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 blah. Like, shut up. You either fast, you don't clean your plate, or you're not really eating that food, because there's no way that unless you're some superhuman being or you have some rare disease, that you can just eat all the food that you're showing and be fine, because you're not. And it's fine. It's reality. Like, I just hate people lying out here, you know? See. Have been struggling a lot lately thinking about the sheer staggering number of strangers and acquaintances I've encountered in my life who have secretly thought mean, judgmental, ugly, hateful shit about me as a person because I'm fat. And there's nothing I could have done or can now do to change their minds, and they're going to live the rest of their lives feeling justified in thinking those thoughts about me and other fat people. It's one of those things I'm always aware of, but I'm usually compartmentalizing. I know that word. But for some reason, this week it's very present and painful in my thoughts. And then someone said, how in the world do you know what someone is secretly thinking about you? So I feel like that title is a little bit like, sometimes like I watch certain YouTube channels that respond to like fat people and stuff, and they pretend like they don't know common sense. Like obviously this person doesn't know what those strangers are thinking. But usually when you're fat, people judge you. Like it's a given. And for them, it's just something they're thinking about. They're not thinking about specific strangers. They're just thinking about how they go out in the world, and there's probably people who judge them. There are. Just like there's probably people who judge me for my race. You know, probably people who judge me for the way I dress. People will probably judge you for literally anything. You know, and this person's, I guess, is specifically fixating on them being overweight. You know, um, I don't really think that this is fat logic. Wait, like I feel like this is just like somebody being upset about like fat shaming, even though it's not like verbal. And I think that this person just needs to work on accepting themselves, you know, um, and realizing that people are going to have different opinions from them. Um, they're lucky that you know this is the problem they have, and that they don't have the problem of people. They probably do, but not as big as people directly just fat shaming them. You know, like to be caught up in what and how people could be viewing you is torture, and this person needs to work on that. That's all I'd say. I don't think it's like particularly a bad post that they made. You know, maybe the fat phobia part is a little concerning because you know they probably would support you know saying that being fat is fine. The one thing that's concerning is that they're justified in thinking those thoughts about me and other fat people. Like on the surface, that could just be like, oh, they're justified in being mean to fat people in their head. But the deeper leg could be like they're justified in thinking that being fat is bad or being fat is unhealthy, you know, but they didn't say that. So I'm not gonna assume that. Um, but yeah, like I don't think that this post is really that bad. I think it's just somebody struggling with other people what other people think about them, which is fine. You know, we all struggle with that. Let's see. It's okay to want to indulge, just don't lie to other people about it. Groceries cost the same amount as eating out. As a single person, it's cheaper and more convenient to grab a quick meal for me to grab a quick meal, fast food, grocery store, deli, meat, etc. Um, I think groceries can cost the same as eating out. I think on average groceries cost less because you can get a meal that would be able to help sustain you for like 3 to 4 days, for like, you know, $25. And that same meal, if you DoorDashed it, you could just get one for what you would just get for one day, you know, but it depends on what you're getting. Like, so I think that's why I think groceries can. Depends if you're going to Whole Foods and you're buying all the organic shit, or you're going to the Dollar Tree and getting, you know, all dollar plus tax stuff, or somewhere in the middle, you know, which is what I do. But it's fine if it's easier for you. It as a single person is cheap. Wait, you're saying it's cheap. So which one is it? Is it groceries cost the same amount as eating out, or is it cheaper? Which one is it? Um, and yeah, like, eating out. Wait, is this person saying like, is this person using eating out as something different from fast food or deli meat or deli meal? Like, are they saying that eating out like a restaurant and then fast food is different? Okay, if that's what they mean, then okay, I get what they're saying. But yeah, it is easier to get fast food or get like no one's saying it isn't. It's very easy to get convenience foods. No one's saying that eating healthy or getting groceries and cooking is easy. I think it can be easier than what people think in their heads. But like you don't have to make a whole Gordon Ramsay meal or the meal that the girls who I was complaining about earlier are. You know, it can look bad as long as it tastes fine, you know? Like the best things I eat look like puke, you know, it's like beans and cheese and like tomatoes, like mixed up. It's good to me, you know, I don't care. Like my friend's like, ugh, it looks good to me. Um, but yeah, like no, I mean, this person's just saying like what we all know. Like it's like if this person just said, "Oh, fast food is more delicious than groceries." Like, yeah, we know. Like I don't really get what this person is saying. And I guess this person's like, just don't lie to other people. But I guess they're saying like this person's kind of projecting. Like some of these comments are kind of like projecting. Like they're assuming, unless they know this person is the person who tweeted this, it's okay. Like they're assuming that this person is lying about the fact that they just eat fast food and deli food, and they're saying like, "Oh, I eat so healthy. I don't know what's happening." Maybe I'm guessing that's what they're saying. I don't know. Okay, we might do like one or two more. Sorry, I just didn't. That was too long for me. So if I can lose weight by restricting my calories, how is body size not within my control? Ooh, okay. One of the reasons that people still think it's okay to be fat phobic is that many people still believe that body size is within our control. Dismantling the belief that body size is the result of individual choice is an essential component of eradicating anti-fat bias. Okay. So this person probably doesn't believe that any kind of weight loss method works or is foolproof. Like, do these people just think the people who lose weight are exceptions, or what do they think? Like the people who just calorie count, lose weight, or even do keto, whatever they do, toxic, not toxic, to lose weight. Like, they're just exceptions, or they just don't exist. Like, I wonder what they're gonna say about those people. And maybe they'll say, oh, not all people can control their body size. I'm like, okay. Like, in certain aspects I can't. Like, I'm 5'7", I can't make myself 5'3". I could make myself like 5'10" if I wanted. If I want to make myself 5'3", I just cut off my foot. But you know what I mean? Like, in a simple like way. But I can, and I am proof. And I would put up my before and after photo if I actually edited these videos, but I don't. That I could control my body size. And like I said earlier, now that I'm more aware of what I eat and put in my body, I know that when I eat cookies and cakes and burgers and whatever, my body size goes up. And when I eat salads and, a mix of cookies and cake, but also like vegetables and protein and, rice, my body size goes down. My shorts feel looser. I wore some shorts yesterday that I've been wearing all throughout college and they felt a little looser. I was like, oh, okay. Or I'm like, oh, good. Like I'm losing a little bit more weight because I still have a little bit to go. I know from like this, I'm like, oh, but I still have a little bit that I'd like to lose. But it's like this person saying, like, they just don't want anybody to believe that you can change your body and that if you're unhappy with the way that your body is, you can't change it. Like, I think a constant problem I have is with the idea that you can accept your body but still change it. But I think that then I apply it to other things in life. Like I can accept where I am now. I accept that I am, quote unquote successful. I'm happy with myself. I'm in college. I get good grades. I have friends, blah, blah, blah. But that doesn't mean I still don't want to change things and adjust my life. Just because we are in a constant state of changing. We're always adapting. We get promotions. We get different jobs. We have more children. We go to different relationships. We're always adapting. We're always changing. And that's okay. It's okay to do that. It's great. Change is good. There's some things that are bad change. We get drug addictions. We become alcoholics. We're mean to our children. We're abusive. Like all kinds of that. Like that's bad change. We don't want that. But it's okay to change. It's okay to accept yourself and still want to change. I think acceptance comes with realizing that you can change and that you're great, but you want to change and you want to improve. You can be better. I think that's when true acceptance comes. And I'm not going to say I'm a person who truly accepts myself. And I have problems with it. And it's wavering. Just acceptance of yourself changes. It goes up and down. But all I can say is that for a while it was like this. Low, 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 low. And then when I started, losing weight, becoming more confident, it's like, so yeah. Okay. I think I'll do one more. Yeah, this is too much. I'm not reading all that. I ain't reading all that. I'm sorry, I don't feel like responding then. Girl writes a national newspaper for advice about her tricky relationship with a bit of a bully obese dad, gets accused of being fatphobic. And many familiar FA names are dropped. Okay, let's read it. I'm interested. The dilemma. My father, who has always had a tricky relationship with, has been obese since I was a teenager. Wait, sorry, my eye's bothering me. Oh no, pause. Okay, here we go. My father, who has always had a tricky relationship, or I've always had a tricky relationship with, has been obese since I was a teenager. He was very sporty as a younger man, but since his 40s, he has increasingly gained weight. He is now in his 60s and obese. I feel some guilt about feeling like this, but I find, sorry, I was surprised. But I find it disgusting, and I hate being around him, especially when food is present. I feel angry with him for putting his health. Sorry. I feel angry at him for putting his health at risk, and I feel ashamed to be descended from someone with no self-control or self-respect. My mother has never been overweight and deserves a better husband. I have never introduced a partner to my parents because I don't want their opinion of me to be influenced by how my father is. One of my boyfriends at university once made negative comments about the issue, and it really stuck with me. I know even if I'm married that I'll never have a family wedding. What? Okay, this is a little extreme, I'm not gonna lie. I won't have anything to do with my father if he becomes ill as a result of his weight. I wish I could make him understand and change, but he's always been stubborn, bordering on a bully. It's a lost cause. So she said she's always had a tricky relationship with him. So she probably should bring up the other context that besides just saying bordering on a bully that has made her feel like so mad to him. Because imagine like if you like my father is like literally the opposite of this. He is extremely healthy, like almost orthorexic in my opinion. But like it's weird having a very healthy father, and it's just weird. Because it intimidated me a little bit as somebody who was unhealthy. Like I felt like a disappointment, but he never made me feel that way. Like I shouldn't say never, but like not always. Like never on purpose. Like not like I don't know how to say it, but um so I can't relate to this, but I just feel like I would be scared too if my father was overweight. Like I'd be scared. Like I'm lucky that my parents weren't overweight, and that me being overweight was just a result of um me always being left alone because my mom had to work and stuff. My mom has been overweight before. I don't want to get into the whole history because that's her business, but like she's never been obese, you know? And she's been able to maintain her weight. So yeah, like I'm lucky I've never had to worry in that regard about my parents' health. I would worry in other regards, but never like that. So I can't relate to that. I will just say that off the bat. But I think if I did have a parent who was obese, I would be scared and I'd be sad. I just don't know if I'd be as like as unsympathetic as this person. But this person is probably implying that their father is a lot worse. Like, because imagine you have a nice Santa-esque kind of father who's overweight and obese. Like, would you really be being this negative? Like, if they're the best father ever, they just happen to be overweight. If that's really how like, I doubt that that's his father's like, because she's saying they're stubborn, and so they're probably stubborn in other things. They probably rule over the house with a foreboding kind of thing. But I'm also just assuming. I don't know. But like, you're really never gonna have a family wedding because your father is obese. Like, that's a lot. You know? Is there another one? It's a lost cause. How do I get through to him that he needs to address his weight? You don't have to take on all of the guilt you currently feel about your own shoulders. It is society that has made it normal to stigmatize fat people, but it is the responsibility of all of us to overcome the prejudice and stop it from getting worse. Your fat phobia is preventing you from really working on how you feel about your relationship with your father. We are surrounded by a society that encourages fat phobic beliefs. Fat people have been wrongly blamed for the failings of our NHS, blah, blah, blah. You are what you eat and Biggest Loser. It is our responsibility to change those beliefs within us and have compassion and empathy for fat friends, family members, strangers, and ourselves. Is there more, or is that it? Oh, there's more. Is there more? Oh no, how much more is there? Oh, okay. I don't think I can read all that. In his book, It Isn't Food Medicine, Joshua argues that the narrative that fat people simply have less willpower than thin people is therefore more. I don't feel like reading all that. Okay, I'm not gonna read all that. Okay, well, I'll respond to that the thing, and then like Philippa's answer, whoever the heck. I agree that this person's being a little being pretty extreme. I think that they're like, and it's obvious that they're ashamed of it and they don't like how they feel about their father. But also they have a valid reason to be worried for their father's health. And this person's kind of just negating that and saying that they have fat phobia, you know? But I think that the person who answered, they are like, they're being reasonable. They're not being like, you're just a fat phobic bitch. Like, they're kind of being like, it's not your fault. It's okay. You know, but like, they're not addressing how this person can help their father who's unhealthy. You know, they're mainly looking at the main meat of the article, which I won't lie is very rude and kind of mean towards our father. But they're not like really answering the question of like what the person should do when it comes to trying to help their father. My advice would be, you know, have an honest sit down talk with your father and tell him that you know, like, talk about your relationship and like the struggles you've had, and then also tell him that as much as you guys have struggles, you still worry about him and you want him to be healthy and everything like that. And then that's all you can do, really, because at the end of the day, it's his choice. And if he's in his 60s, just like, it's really his choice. He's probably, and you said he's stubborn, so, and I don't doubt that this person has talked to their father about it, but if it's not working, it's not working, you know? But if there's other reasons that you don't like your father and your father's like making you ashamed, then yeah, don't be in contact maybe, or don't interact with them as much. But if it's just solely because they're overweight and they're being stubborn about that, I really doubt I really don't think that that's a good reason to hate them or to not like them. But I just feel like there's more to the story than this person let on. But I'm not sure. That's all I'd say about that. But she's definitely being very harsh and like fat phobic. Like, I hate using that word. I don't know why. I just hate it. But yeah, I would say that. All right. That is all, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you have a good day. And I hope you, ooh, just a little thing. Okay, sorry. I hope you had a good day. And I hope that you enjoyed the video. Bye.